David Bowerly here. Welcome to another episode of Furniture Restoration. Enjoy. Okay, so this is just a quick ditty on some of the tools if you're just starting that you might want to have. If you're gonna strip a piece, just find yourself a good scraper. And so when you put your stripper on the piece, let it sit long enough, and then try and use a scraper just to scrape it off. Just any secondhand scraper. You don't have to buy new tools. And then as you're doing the piece, if you're doing repairs, if you've got a veneered piece, you can get these syringes from an animal supply store. And I just put a little glue in here and then stick this needle in underneath the loose veneer, and then shoot it in with that, and it works marvelous. I keep mine in a little thing of water, and it keeps them from getting dried up. And then having these little spring clamps is handy, because then after you get, say you glue a little tab of loose veneer, put that on it, boom. And they're really convenient and handy. And having some wood hand clamps, these really come in handy. And, you can find these used. You go to auctions, go to secondhand stores, and get what you can when you can. Take your time. You don't have to have everything right away. And over the years, I have collected old dental tools, and these really come in handy when you're stripping stuff, when you need to get into little crevices and pick out little spots where there's maybe paint in something or whatever you want to get on. These are really handy. And these can be hard to come by. You're going to use sandpaper, and always go to sandpaper last. Get the finish off first. You can use chemical strippers. I hate that citrus strip stuff. It doesn't work really well, and it can leave some woods really dark. And so try and find a good stripper. I always clean off any stripper with acetone. Acetone's a relatively non-harmful chemical, and it flashes off really quick, but it'll steal wool, and acetone clean it off. But when you're using sandpaper, my brother-in-law actually gave this to me, and it works really great. Put a piece of sandpaper in here, boom, and it keeps the surface flat. This is flat here. So, you have a little sandpaper, have little piles around. I usually start with 100 grit, if it's really rough, but I go to 120, 150. I never go over 180 on pieces. If you go too fine, it messes up with how the wood takes stain. You can always find old chisels. This is an old one I keep on the bench, and this works great for scraping something. It's sacrilege to use a good chisel, one of your quality chisels for that. But having a handy chisel, even these small little chisels are handy when you want to scrape something off. They're really handy having around. And always have a few good screwdrivers. See, these screwdrivers are all different sizes. And if you're gonna, especially with antiques, sometimes those screws are really hard to get out. Well, you see how that fits into that slot nice and tight? That will give you a good grip on it. If you're using something like this that doesn't really fit in there, or trying to get even this into that, have the right screwdriver, and have the end of your screwdriver flat and true. It matters. It makes a difference. You don't end up stripping out things, and have a few good Phillips screwdrivers around. But most of the antiques are going to have slotted screws in them, and so and sometimes they are a bear to get out. And taking a screwdriver, real quick tip before we quit. Taking a screwdriver like this, and if this old screw is hard stuck in there, whack it with a hammer. and it can loosen the grip of these threads that are in the wood and make it easier to get out. So those are a few things to gather around you when you start out, but take your time and buy old stuff. You don't buy new stuff if you don't have to. And you'll be inventive as you go along and find out, I wish I had something like this. You'll find one. So good luck with it. Hi, David Bowerly signing off here. And if you learned something, if you got questions, or even if you got an idea for a future topic, just subscribe below. Thanks.